before with John Watson, who was number 2 driver in a way, and I was quicker and better. And then Watson argued with Ron Dennis about his new contract, and I think the money they were apart was $5,000 or something. And I remember that I went to John and I said, John, be careful, because if something happens, you will not drive. So I pay you the $5,000, but stay, be clever and stay. And John said, no, I know what I'm doing. And suddenly Prost lost the championship in the last race in Kyalami against Piquet in Renault, and they chucked him out in the end of November. So normally when you are chucked out in November, you have no car, because all the seats are signed. But McLaren was not. So and suddenly Marlboro, the sponsor at the time, said we want Prost with me. And Prost with me was 1 generation younger. So I was world champion when he just made his first driving license. So and suddenly I had Prost, which I thought in the beginning no problem, because I'm for sure stronger than he is. And then we came to the first race in Brazil, and he out-qualified me, and was quicker than me. So he's not like John Watson. It is different. But I said to myself, no problem, I'm gonna fight him. And I retired in the first race, and when I came back to the hotel, he won the race, Prost. First race, McLaren in my car, he won the race. So then I thought, now I have to get going again. And I had a fight all the way to the end of the season. And then I won by, I think, half a point the championship over my own teammate. And this is always very difficult, because if the car gets better, he has the benefit and I have the benefit. So it was a fight. This was my most difficult championship. Problem was that in this race I was 12th or 13th on the grid, because I had some technical problems in qualifying, and Prost had pole position. So it was the worst for me to be nowhere, and I had to be second in this race to win the championship, because that he could win was simple, but to come back was difficult. And the problem was, in the second or third lap, a stone damaged my turbocharger on the left side, and whenever I put the boost up, I could not get the power on the straight what they normally had. Because in these days we could adjust the power. So I said, what the hell is going on here? And therefore it took me so long to overtake on the straight people, because I had less power on the straight. The others were going quicker, and I could not increase my power level. And therefore the race was terrible for me, because I had to fight and fight and fight. And then finally finished second, a couple of laps before the end, and this made me world champion. I said to him, because I know that the poor guy was completely destroyed, because he was sure that he's gonna win. And the funny thing was, this I will never forget, that the whole McLaren and Mansour Auger, who was part of that time at the time, they all liked Prost. They always spoke in French with him, and Prost was the hero. Even I started to develop this car 1 year before. I did all the work, and this little Frenchman comes and uses my car to beat me. And the whole team was for him, because he was the younger one. I was the older one, retiring, I don't know when. And even Ron Dennis brought me out of retirement in the early days to come back to McLaren. So they were all for him, which I didn't like, because it's unfair, I thought. But nevertheless, what can I do? And that made me stronger and better. And the best was that Marlboro was the main sponsor at the time. And one of these Marlboro people, which I've been very close to, and we made jokes with each other, one guy said to me on Sunday, look what they've produced. And he showed me the big poster, Alain Prost, world champion in that year. So I said, what? They produced this thing, and where's mine? No, they didn't do one for you. Oh, I said, oh, interesting. So, and that really motivated me, like you do not believe, in that race, not to make a mistake, because if you hit once with the wing and I destroy my own race. So I said to myself, this race you make no mistake. and tried to be second. And as soon as I got out of the car, I went to the Marlboro man and said, come here. You are the biggest bugger I've ever seen. Now you wasted all your money because I am the world champion. So I had these funny things, and Prost knew about it, and he was laughing with me about this, but these are the sides.